So yes, we are back this soon with another video, and today it's going to be another really relevant topic that I feel just getting this information across to people is just going to help you make better decisions. It's something that I see quite a lot of people assume wrongly quite a lot, and that is a 4-iron replacement. Now, I think it's a fantastic thing for a lot of amateurs to replace a 4-iron with a hybrid from a ball flight perspective, but not a lot of people get the right loft to actually hit that yardage. So today I'm going to be putting my 4-iron to the test and then finding a suitable replacement with the right hybrid loft, which I think will probably surprise a lot of people. And then we'll also touch on kind of ball flight characteristics and why a hybrid might be better for some people than others. So let's do it. Right, so I'm going to dive straight into it and we'll discuss everything as we go through. The first thing we're obviously going to do if anyone's looking to replace a 4-iron is get a baseline with their actual 4-iron, or at least start to get some gapping from the 6, look at that, the 5, look at that, make sure they gap correctly, look at the ball flight with the 4-iron, all those kind of things. So we need to try and ascertain what we're trying to achieve. So for me, obviously I'm going to hit a set with my 4-iron, which is a T200 4-iron, measuring 23 degrees of loft. And yeah, so par 5, second shot, pins out there at 219. Let's get a baseline with my my 4-iron. That would be interesting because I thinned the absolute off of that and it could go in the hole. Go on. Go on. I mean, yeah, oh, there's a bit of a slope there, isn't there? Stop. Yeah, that was, no, yeah, look at that for a strike. And we ended up not very far away from the flag. Love that. Who says 4-irons aren't forgiving, eh? Look at that ball flight. Yes, so again, for me personally, you know, I wouldn't necessarily be looking at a hybrid to replace a 4-iron because reasonable ball striker, I wouldn't say decent as we just saw, but reasonable, and the main key is speed. I've got plenty of speed, so therefore that means that the ball speed keeps the ball climbing for longer. That means I just don't need to worry about height. I don't really need to worry about gapping too much. As long as I've got the corresponding loft, they generally gap well. Whereas as you start to lose speed, you start to lose the kind of, the ball just doesn't really climb for long enough. If you haven't got the initial launch or the ball speed to keep it climbing, and it doesn't really apex high enough, therefore that's when your long irons start to bunch up. So it's typically people with slightly less speed where we start to see that hybrids really should replace 4-iron and maybe 5-iron as well. But yeah, we do want to actually see how this performs out the middle for a couple as well. So if I could find the middle, that would be helpful. Oh, it was a better strike, but turned it. Wow, that's gone absolutely miles. That's, yeah. Better strike, just turned it. That was a little bit better. I could literally fly in the hole. That's it. Gonna say that one, better strike. Is that 217 carry? So yeah, I mean, typically my 4-iron is around a 215 to 220 sort of carry mark. It's about what it is. I mean, I went for the T200, not necessarily because it's any more forgiving than the T100S. I don't genuinely think that it is. They just launch. Like, so for me, that flew 125 feet, descended at 48. So that's a super high ball flight, which I actually really love in the 4-iron. One actually out the middle. Yep, those are kind of the numbers I'd like or expect to see from a 4-iron. The end. Not bad, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll finish on that one. That was decent. Sit. Yeah, so I hit quite a lot of shots there. You'll be able to see on the dispersion map, top right. I'll leave that screen up for a second. So at the top right, one kind of a little bit short, like fatted a little bit, but nice little cluster around the back edge of the green, couple leaked right, couple pulled left. I'm just going to leave them all in, leave a good average of how the 4-iron's performing. Now, let's go 4 hybrid. Okay, so we're going to move into 4 hybrid, which is just stock kind of off the shelf as you'd buy it, TSI 2, 4 hybrid, so 21 degrees, just set A1, stock RDX black, 80 gram, 6.0 stiff. So yeah, I mean a reasonable choice for a lot of people thinking I just want to replace my 4-iron, and for some, that might work, possibly. But yeah, maybe not for most. A little bit thin, a little bit turny. And that's just flown past. Yeah, I mean, I did turn that a little bit, which again, I would typically see a couple of. It is my miss for sure. Good strike, face just a little too close to path, and it's flown 240 yards. Not really the miss you want. Hit a good drive on a par 5, coming in from 220. You want to knock it down there near the green, really, don't you? Like, if you get it on the green, great. Around the green, fine. Do not want to go long left into the trees. That's not what we want. Again, let's see if we can get a few more better swings. That was better. I mean, it's just like air mailing the green. Bye-bye. She gone. Good example of why 4 hybrids doesn't really replace 4-iron. That's too much. Right, I'll get a few more, not loads, just to get a good idea of how this is performing, but I think that demonstrates it pretty clearly. It doesn't work. Again, that was pretty decent. It's just, yeah. Not a bad shot at all. You obviously see close speed jump up, ball speed jump up, and that's really the difference between irons and hybrids. I mean, slightly longer. Obviously, we've got a much lighter graphite shaft in there. Higher COR face, obviously, thinner, faster face. So yeah, just way more oomph. That'll do. That will do for this. Yeah, I mean, haven't exactly got to hit too many of those to prove a point. It's about 15 to 20 yards too long, isn't it? Again, we'll look at the numbers at the end. So now, let me try something a little more what I think would replace my 4-iron. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the TSI 1/6 hybrid. So this is 26 degree hybrid, but I've got it set at C1, so it's down at 25. You know, you wouldn't really necessarily think 4-iron jump into 6 hybrid. I mean, you might not, to be fair, about to find out. She's just got the AV Raw Blue 75 stiff in, so it's just, I just had it at the right sort of length. So, again, this is just a stab in the dark, to be completely honest with you. I never really pre-test my videos, so this is probably where I look like a mong and it come up 20 yards short. Wow, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be that, because I hit that right out the middle. And yes, what a shot that is. It ain't going to be far away, is it? Was that 212? Maybe quite a good guess. Look at that ball flight. I mean, I'll take that every day of the week. 140 feet in the air, 51 degree angle of descent. So it's obviously flown quite a lot higher than my 4-iron, but that's what we'd expect, right? It's a 6 hybrid. So I will get a set with this, or at least a few with this, and then let's see how it compares to my 4-iron. Oh, it was smoked. That is That's gone so high. I think the carry would be pretty good. Yeah, again, about 214 carry. I mean, yeah, it's pretty similar to the 7-wood test I did, really, isn't it? In terms of that launch is just crazy with the ball speed going 145 feet in the air, descending at 51.3. Yes, perfect really for this, isn't it? Coming into a back flag on a par 5 with a little downslope at the back. We want to get that towering ball flight, unless you're into the wind, and then you probably don't want that. Another pretty good one. Yeah, it's probably going to be a couple of yards away, isn't it? I mean, straight away it is very, very close. I'll hit a couple more with it, but we might just want maybe a degree or so less loft, possibly. Oh, go in the hole. Go in the hole, get right. Go on, break down there. Go on. Oh. I mean, there's been a couple of phenomenal shots with this club, isn't there? Right, so let's dive over to the compare page and see on average how that's kind of stacking up so far. Right, so jumping into that compare page, and actually straight away we can see on average, my own 4-iron was 214 carry, and the TSI 125 degree hybrid was 213 carry. And again, you can see why I chucked the 4 hybrid in there. I mean, it's 233 carry on average. So, I mean, yeah, it's almost 20 yards longer on average carry than my 4-iron, A4 hybrid. So, and again, you can get different kind of types of hybrids that will have different launch and spin characteristics and therefore give you different kind of yardages. But in this test, that's what it was. So, I mean, the best to best, I could hit my 4-iron, a good, well-struck straight shot was about 220 carry. With the TSI 1 hybrid, it was about 213 carry. So there's that little discrepancy for me. Obviously, it was a little bit more consistent on carry. I mean, you can see standard deviation's tighter, so it was therefore more consistent, which is great. I mean, that's not something that I, wouldn't expect to see, because with a hybrid, it's definitely more forgiving than a 4-iron. But I kind of like my best being 5 yards more than I play it, especially with something like a 4-iron where, let's be honest, like coming in from 220, if you're anywhere on the green, you're pretty happy with that. So that being 213, I would probably, at my best, I'd probably like to knock that, up to 220 at my best on a dead straight shot, which might average a couple of yards further. But again, I'm okay with that. For most amateurs, that's going to be fine, because you're just giving yourself a little bit of leeway to work with things. We all misstrike it, a lot, probably more than we should. But yeah, so I'll chuck on a slightly different head design, and we'll excuse me, try that again. Okay, so we're going to go into the TSI 2 5 hybrid. This is playing 24 degrees set at A1. So again, only 1 degree different to the TSI 1 that we were just playing. However, if we look at the profile of these hybrids, A from above, we can see that the weight is forward on the TSI 2 versus back on the TSI 1. So they're slightly different kind of launch and spin profiles. So although they're only 1 degree different, we would expect to get slight lower launch, slight lower spin out of the TSI 2, and therefore hopefully give us a couple more yards. So I'd hope and think that a good one with this should give us that extra kind of 5 to 7 yards that I'm kind of hoping to see, really. So let's give it a go. That was actually a decent strike, to be fair. So it can be 220. 220 pretty much on the dot, I think. 220 on the dot. First shot. We like it. So yeah, I mean, I'll get a few more just for the sake of the video and then go back to the averages at the end. But we can see that I've kind of achieved straight away what I want to achieve. So this is now giving me exactly the same carry number on the nose as my 4-iron on a good, well-struck, straight shot. I mean, what's that? It's 4 yards offline. That's very straight for me. I'm taking that all day long. And yeah, it just gives me a little bit of leeway. I know I'm going to misstrike this. I know I'm going to miss hit it. So if I'm playing it from 215 and, you know, I hit it 220, I'm okay with that. I'm fine. So yeah, we'll get a few more and then have another look at the numbers. A little bit pulley, but it's like 219, I think that's. It's like, it's really giving me exactly what I want straight away, isn't it? 219 with a very slight pull. Not going to grumble at that shot at all from 220. Easy up and down, actually straight in. Got to back yourself, haven't you? I mean, I haven't actually practiced my short game since about 2016, but still, got to go for it. Or you can just hit it straight in the hole without needing to chip to left. I mean, yeah, carry yardage straight away is unbelievably consistent. I mean, we saw that with the other hybrid. I mean, you don't get as much drop off with a hybrid as you do with a 4-iron, which is why typically most amateurs struggle with their 4-iron. Why not just game a hybrid, you know? I mean, okay, I don't necessarily want to be hitting at 150 feet in the air, but again, I could always keep my hybrid for the windy days where it still goes probably too high, to be honest. But, you know, I could keep that for the windier days, and I could have this on the firm, stiller days where I don't mind hitting at 150 feet in the air coming in from 220 yards. And it's going to stop pretty damn quick. I don't mind that at all. All right, a couple more. Just so easy to strike. I mean, that's a little bit pulley, but well, I say that, it's not that pulley, is it? But yeah, I mean, I think that's about enough, really, isn't it? To be honest, I don't think I really need to hit any more. I think points proven. So we'll look at the data, but essentially what we've ended up with is a 24-degree hybrid to replace my 23-degree 4-iron. So yeah, typically I do find it is a 5 hybrid a lot of the time that replaces a 4-iron, not a 4 hybrid. Obviously the lofts are more similar. Generally, as we see here, kind of slightly more loft in a hybrid will kind of work out about the same because again, higher COR, kind of hotter, thinner face, all those kind of things. Generally you swing a little bit faster, lightweight graphite shaft, kind of launches a little bit higher as well, so therefore, you know, we actually need less loft to get the same carry distance as we would in a 4-iron. Okay, so we've now got the TSI 224-degree added in down here at the bottom, and I think I showed you all the shots with that. They're all pretty good, to be fair. I don't really need to hit a lot with it. We can see that the average carry now is at 219 versus average carry at my 4-iron of 214. So, you know, I think over time, factoring in I will miss hit the hybrid a few times. I mean, that it would probably still be a couple more yards, I think, 216, 217 on average. But, so I mean, you could, if you really wanted to get that yardage bang on, you could maybe have the TSI 2 at 25 degrees, just to pretty much get them probably identical. But I think it's close enough and it proves my point. So, I mean, to sum up, we're really talking, why are you going to play a hybrid over a 4-iron? Well, for me, it doesn't matter too much. I fly everything high, it lands soft, even with my 4-iron. I do think I still get a bit more forgiveness out of a hybrid, and I think that is one of the biggest things for most amateurs. We're talking forgiveness, talking probably more consistency out of a hybrid, and you're talking more height, probably more distance. And again, there's a lot of variables in that. Speed is going to be one of the biggest one, but obviously your delivery, if you kind of take loft off versus add loft, and that's obviously going to affect ball flight massively. I mean, what irons you're playing are a massive kind of topic to take into consideration as well. With some of the stronger lofted irons nowadays, some 7-irons being 27, 28 degrees. I mean, I measured a guy's 4-iron the other day and it was like 18.5 or 19 degrees, but there was only 2 degrees between his 4 and his 5-iron. And again, had a bit of a lower ball flight and wondered why 4, 5 and 6-iron were all going the same distance. These are the kind of things that we're really talking about. We're talking about ball flight, forgiveness, consistency, and gapping So please do not just assume that a 4 hybrid is going to go the same distance as 4 iron. It might for you, depending on what 4 iron it is, your delivery. Again, lots of variables, but please do not assume that. Please, A, get fitted properly for irons, first of all, so make sure you don't have the same problem as 4, 5, and 6 going the same distance, which I've seen many times. And then get gapped properly for the hybrids to gap into your set, depending on the loft, the kind of profile of the hybrid, and what you're trying to achieve. Whew! So, yeah, I think that was another kind of good, relevant test, just to give you guys some information. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you take something from it. Please comment below what you thought. Comment below what you want to see next. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.